I live in New York City, but Lansing, Michigan will always be my home. The Midwest, the automotive industry, home of a recent bailout. Whoa, bailout. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree. Some of you said from your walk-up apartment in New York City, let them go under. Some of you said from the boardwalk of Santa Monica, let them save themselves. And why did some of you say that? Because you didn't have any touch points with the manufacturing beltway of that Midwest. You did not think that it was important. Well, let me talk to you about some things that I may think is important to you. Wings and beer on Monday night for football. Leaving church a little bit early on Sunday afternoon to watch that Sunday afternoon kickoff. How about trying out that new chili recipe that you saw on the Today Show for your next Super Bowl party? Now, let me ask you another question. Did you know that the top 3 revenue generators for the NFL was the automotive industry? So if they were to go under, there goes your special for wings and beer on Monday. There goes your excuse to leave church a little bit early on Sunday. There goes that party and that chili. Oh, yes, the party will still go on, but it's going to be different. And why is it going to be different? Because you had a crasher. Who crashed your Super Bowl party? Some guy, some girl who sits on a cubicle around K Street in D.C. Some guy, some girl who sits on a cubicle on a hill somewhere by a capitol with some dome, who created some policy that said, your party won't be that fun this year. Why? Because there is an intersection of politics and pop culture that you didn't even know existed. So let's go on a journey today down the road of the intersection of pop culture and politics. We're gonna go on a road trip. We need music, Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit, lynchings. That was her protest song. That was Billie Holiday's way of saying, no more, no mas. I can't take this anymore. Something needs to be said. So what she did was she sang that beautiful song, and her song was CNN. Her song was her political. Her song was her tweet. She began the conversation. Jimi Hendrix, Woodstock, the peace movement. Brother Hendrix strummed that guitar so beautifully to that Star-Spangled Banner. And it was in that moment that Brother Hendrix freed us. He freed us on the notion of what it means to be American. He freed us on the notion of what it means to be a patriot. He freed us in ways that he said, let America be your own styling, your own rhythm. You own it. You own this country. That was Brother Hendrix. NWA. That's the next group I want to bring on this road trip. Oh, yes, they had attitude. Whoa. Oh, yes, they had a song, and boy, did they had a song. That song said, fuck the police. Whoa, Mike said, fuck. Yes, Mike did. Why did Mike say fuck? Because this group was banned from being played on the radio because of that song. This group was protested. There was so much controversy surrounding this song. Okay, so you're not comfortable with this image. Let's maybe be honest. So you're not comfortable with the messengers, but let's address the message. That's the styling. The message says it was about racial profiling, police brutality. So you know what? After all that controversy, after all that banning, what happened? A conversation. Whoa. People began to talk. Whoa, what are the issues? From conversation began action. Whoa, something needs to be changed over there on the West Coast. Whoa, okay, so action was made, change was done. So now let's re-examine NWA with all that attitude. Were they gangster rappers? I don't know. Or were they political activists? You tell me. Or, better yet, were they political journalists? Was music their political party? You tell me. How about this next group? Public Enemy. Woo, he said enemy. Boy, this mic is tough. Fight the power. Whoa. Fight the power. What does fight the power mean? It means standing for a cause. It means standing for something you believe in, standing when others wouldn't stand, standing when others wouldn't take a stance, to fight for passions and beliefs. That was the message. That was what they're saying. Stand for something, because if you don't, you will fall for anything. Speaking of standing for something, the next group I want to bring on our road trip is the Dixie Chicks. These three young ladies, whew, did they take a stand? They single-handedly went against the leader of the free world and said, no more, I can't take this. I can't take what you're doing to my country. But whoa, did they get a backlash? Whoa, did they get imprisoned by pop culture? Whoa, were they called so many names that they felt imprisoned by their own success of standing for a cause? And we looked at them with sadness. We looked at them as like, oh my gosh, you're in prison. You would never be successful. You want to talk about imprisonment? Let's talk about Pussy Riot. Let's talk about Russia. Let's talk about Putin. Let's talk about Crimea. These people, now that's jail. Now that's imprisonment for standing up for something that they believed in. That is getting beat with billy clubs in the Olympics because what? They took a stand, but their stand was not welcome in their country. So let's ask who really is fighting for the cause. The Dixie Chicks. In a genre where their music is written in the lyrics in the pen of red, white, and blue ink. Are they now traitors or are they freedom riders? Are they freedom liberators so that we can stand up for what we believe in and freedom of speech and not be imprisoned? For you see, music defines a generation. Music is a soundtrack of revolution. Music is a soundtrack of movement. Music is a soundtrack of cause. Whew, defining a generation. Right here, JFK, Bobby Kennedy. Definers of a generation. Jay-Z, Kanye, definers of a generation. Juxtaposition, back to back, side to side. JFK, he introduced the swag, the cool to the White House in a moment where America was going through a transformative period of war, a transformative period of peace, a transformative period of exploration. He single-handedly encouraged the youth of that moment to get involved. They ran for political office. They said, I want to make this country better. He inspired. He let them rethink their position. Is that not what Jay-Z and Kanye has done? Have they not inspired and changed the way that we think about hip-hop? Hip-hop is no longer some beatboxing guys in a corner. Hip-hop is no longer just about breaking. Hip-hop is about a movement. Hip-hop is about inspiring some youth on a corner that they are bigger than the 4-block radius that they reside in. Also, Jay-Z has a symbiotic relationship with the President Obama. In the same way, Kanye West has a symbiotic relationship with George Bush. And you know who else shares a symbiotic relationship? Frank Sinatra. With who? JFK. Whoa, Blue Eyes himself. Frank Sinatra threw a party for JFK an inauguration to celebrate his crowning. Frank Sinatra also wrote a song called New York, New York. Jay-Z did a remake of New York, New York and called it Empire State of Mind. Whoa, so are you telling me now that Jay-Z shares a symbiotic relationship with Frank Sinatra in ways that I don't even know if Jay-Z knew that he did? Jay-Z, did you know? And in that position of did you know that you, Frank Sinatra, JFK, and Obama has changed the way that we think about democracy, all through your lyrics, all through your pen, all through your verse? Whoa, think about that. This is too deep, I think, maybe. So let's pull it back a little bit. Let's ease up because it's too early. Let's go shallow. Let's go fun. Let's go superficial. Let's go fashion. Jay-Z loves Tom Ford. Kanye West loves Givenchy. I'm sure you may love or may not like any of those, but you know fashion. You know, how does Tom Ford make his clothes? Well, he needs cotton, right? Well, I think he needs some denim. Well, I'm talking about cotton, and I'm talking about denim, then I'm talking about commodities. Whoa. If I'm talking about commodities, then I'm talking about exports. I'm talking about imports. Whoa. If I'm talking about exports, imports, I'm talking about tariffs. If I'm talking about tariffs, I'm talking about made in U.S. or made in China. Whoa. So what you're saying to me, Mike, is that there is some boy, some girl sitting in a cubicle along K Street, somewhere in D.C., a boy, a girl sitting in a cubicle along a hill with a Capitol with a dome who has single-handedly decided what you wore today. Whoa. So now that you have your skinny jeans on from your denim, now that you have your cool white tee, what do we all need for that extra oomph, that extra pop? You need an accessory. Okay, let's talk about accessory. What is the coolest accessory out right now? Beats by Dre. Whoa, that's NWA. Whoa, that's Dr. Dre. Whoa, okay, so if we have technology on our head that we're listening to our revolution on, some engineer had designed that cool in you. So I'm talking about engineering, I'm talking about science, I'm talking about STEM. I'm talking about science, technology, engineering, and math. Whoa, now I'm talking about education. Whoa, now I'm talking about unions. Whoa, now I'm talking about charter versus public versus private versus boarding school. Touche. So what that means is that there were some boys, some girls sitting in a cubicle around K Street in DC, some boy, some girl sitting in a cubicle on a hill around some Capitol with a dome who has single-handedly decided some policy that educated some little boy, some little girl on math, on science, on calculus, that has designed the engineering, the cool of the future. So, with that all being said, people, when you go out next to shop for your next skinny jeans, your kits, your accessories, when you go out and shop for your next music you want to download, when you go out and you want to shop for film, and you want to be a moviegoer, I ask you, shop around. Because if you're not careful with your selection, some boy or some girl will sit in a cubicle who does not understand your lifestyle. Thank you for your patronage.